Welcome to this video about the history of water transport. Come along with us on a journey through time and discover how people learned to navigate rivers, lakes, and oceans throughout the centuries.
Remember to check the comments below for links to useful notes and activities that complement this video.
We don't know who invented the first form of water transport, but long, long ago, people probably discovered that wood could float on water. This simple discovery created new possibilities that would forever change the way people traveled and explored the world. People began to experiment. They discovered that they didn't have to rely on a single piece of wood. They could tie pieces of wood together to make a raft or hollow out a tree trunk to create a simple canoe. Others used reeds to build boats. The first rafts were simple. People tied logs together to create a floating platform. Now they could do more than simply float on the water. They could sit, stand, and even transport goods. But people didn't stop with rafts. They began thinking of new ways to move through the water. One of these early inventions was the canoe. People hollowed out a single tree trunk, sometimes using fire and simple tools. They could then propel the canoe through the water with a paddle. But what if there weren't any large trees available to make a canoe? In areas where trees were scarce, people tied reeds together to build floating vessels. This shows how creative people were and how they used the natural materials around them to find new ways to travel across the water.
As people tend to do, they wanted to improve their vessels. The Egyptians discovered that by adding a sail to a boat, they could harness the energy of the wind to move the boat forward and reduce the amount of human effort needed.
The first sailing ships were a giant leap forward. More power, more speed, greater possibilities. Egyptian sailing ships were impressive vessels for their time. They were designed to be stable on the water and allowed the Egyptians to trade over long distances, even as far as Punt. The Arab dhow was a traditional sailing vessel that sailed the Indian Ocean for centuries. With its distinctive triangular sail, it was used to transport people and goods over long distances. The Portuguese caravel played an important role during the Age of Discovery. It was small and versatile, making it suitable for coastal exploration as well as long sea voyages, even when wind conditions changed. On the other side of the world, the Chinese had been using another type of sailing ship for centuries, the junk. These ships were strongly and cleverly designed, with watertight compartments that made them suitable for trade, fishing, and long sea voyages. British tea clippers were built for speed. With their sleek hulls and large sail areas, they could transport valuable tea cargo across the world as quickly as possible. By the 18th and 19th centuries, sailing ships had grown larger and larger. With their complex sail designs, they could carry enormous loads across the oceans. Then a new era arrived, the era of steamships. With steam power, ships could now move without being completely dependent on the wind. Journeys became faster and more reliable. In 1807, Robert Fulton introduced the Clermont, one of the first commercially successful steamships. Powered by a steam engine, the Clermont traveled along the Hudson River and played an important role in the development of modern water transport. The Royal Mail ship Titanic was one of the largest and most luxurious ships of her time. She was about 269 meters long and could carry more than 3,000 passengers and crew. Her luxurious first-class facilities included a swimming pool, gymnasium, Turkish bath, and squash courts. She was designed for the busy transatlantic route between Southampton and New York. Although the Titanic was impressively large and luxurious, her first voyage unfortunately didn't quite go according to plan. Her maiden voyage ended tragically in 1912, and the Titanic became one of the most famous ships in history. Today, we see an incredible variety of modern watercraft, from passenger ships and ferries to massive container ships and tankers that transport goods and liquid cargo around the world. Today, technology such as GPS and radar makes navigation extremely precise, while modern engines and improved hull designs make ships more efficient than ever. From a simple floating log to these incredible technological wonders, water transport has come a long way. But what will people come up with next? We'll just have to wait and see. Until next time, toodaloo!